Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers here with the dog show mentor, Lee Whittier. And Lee, you look like you are enjoying the holidays back home.
I sure am. I'm in my Christmas garb and I like it.
It looks great on you, and those flowers behind you look beautiful as well. Are they real?
They are real. They are from my garden, and
Oh,
I
wow.
snagged them up before it snowed.
Wow. Lucky
Yeah,
you.
amazing that they're still going.
Well, a week ago, you were in sunny Key West.
Yes, I was.
You're back home in the Pacific Northwest, and as many of you know, the Western U.S. has been inundated with snow. In some places, it has been several yards of snow in a few days. But hopefully, wherever you are settled in. You're enjoying whatever weather you're enjoying, and you're looking forward to today's show, episode 38, Lee, where we are going to be discussing our year in review. It was 38 weeks ago, Lee, when we launched Ring Ready Live. This was a show that was brought about through uh, your relationship as a dog show mentor with Showsite Magazine, and it spawned Ring Ready, the magazine within a magazine here at Showsite. And, for 38 weeks, we have been talking about an awful lot of topics that are important to owner handlers. And I want to ask everyone who is watching us to comment. Let us know where you're from. Let us know your breed. And if you wouldn't mind, let us know what was your favorite episode. Which topic did Lee and I discuss that was of greatest interest to you? And also let us know if there are topics that you would like us to bring to you next year. So, Lee, 38 episodes is pretty incredible. I'm not sure if you knew what you were getting yourself into.
Well, after about the third week, I thought, "Oh yeah, okay, this is a big deal." But I remember having to pretty much drag you kicking and screaming into this format,
Well,
and you promised me when we before we went live that you were going to share that with some of the folks
ah,
out here.
yes, I thank you for calling me out, Lee. I appreciate that. You know,
You thought I wasn't listening, but I was.
uh, the dog show mentor is a very good listener. I've learned there's very little that escapes her attention. But you are right. When this began, I thought, okay, can I do it? And can I make the time to do it? Is it something within my technological capabilities? That was a huge concern of mine. What I've learned is, despite all of the dropped calls that have happened on my end, um, communicating this way is really painless. In fact, it's a lot of fun, and it is really, really informative. And I want to encourage all of those who are a part of our community to participate. I know a lot of times we are sort of passively watching shows. We're watching, YouTube videos. You may even watch Ring Ready Live on YouTube, which is a great way to catch up on shows. But you may also participate in Zoom calls and so forth, and you do so passively. But the amazing thing,
Right?
the
They
amazing
put you
thing,
to gloss over, right? And
yeah,
go to sleep.
or you're doing several things at the same time, and some of us do take the Zoom calls as a time to catch up on other things, let's be honest. But what I've discovered in this format is that the education never ends. In fact, it sort of grows exponentially depending upon how many people are participating. So on the episodes where we've had in excess of 125 people tuning in, a good portion of those folks are commenting, and it's creating a dialogue. And we have seen sort of the communication that takes place even between viewers in the comments section. In Zoom calls, as you know, as a dog show mentor, um, the Zoom format allows real communication as though we are sitting in the same room. And that I find really encouraging, because you said in an early episode, Lee, that it takes the human brain hearing things a certain number of times before it sinks in. And I know
Right.
that that's how I have learned from our conversations here at Ring Ready Live. Can you speak to that a little bit again, about how this format and the Dog Show Mentor program really allows communication that is not only useful, but really provides insight into how we can go next level in our owner handling?
Yeah. So, Dan, it's we learn in layers, right? We don't just learn it all at once because we don't know what we don't know, right? So we learn a little bit, and then we think about that, and maybe uh, I always say on the third time, you sort of get it. But I think sometimes there's magic, right? I
Mm,
love the magic of showing dogs, and I love the magic of learning, and I love the magic of teaching and sharing. And so when I think about, for example, I had a small class last night. It was limited to 5
mm,
people, and we talked about our breed standards. And when we engaged in our brains, right, in thinking about the breed standard, and doing some exercises, some just little tiny exercises, that each of our standards grew exponentially until we really got key points that we hadn't really thought about before. And we're talking about people who've been in their breed 10, 12 years, right? So that was mostly that group that I was working with last night, and we were there for about an hour and a half, um, talking and working and engaging, and that was, I think, the most fun that I've had in a while of with that topic. So, and I think the group, I know the group, and at the end, the takeaways were things like, less is more,
mm,
short and sweet, those kind of takeaways. What
mm.
Oh, okay, I get it now. I get it, why it's so important to be concise. So, anyway, I'm going on, but yes, it's true what you said.
I love that. You know, the learning never ends. And here we've got, again, a community that 38 weeks ago wasn't a community. We were all individual owner handlers. And look at us now. I just want to welcome some of the folks who've been here since episode 1: Kristen, Sandy, Julie, Linda, Sarah, Peg, Trish, Miranda, Lisa, Sarah, Laurie, Jenna is back, and Megan is here with us today. I want to welcome all of you back. I want you to know that we see you, we hear you, and we're so grateful for you for being a part of our community, but also for your participation in the sport that Lee and I love, and the sport that has given us so much in our lives. All of you who are tuned in, let us know what your favorite episodes have been.
Ah.
And maybe more importantly, let us know what you'd like us to be discussing next year. We've got 52 episodes next year, Lee. No pressure,
Woo!
but
We can make a dent in that, I'm pretty sure. And
I'm
and I
pretty
see
sure.
that Julie says her favorite was the backdrop episode,
Ah,
and, Peg says she'd like more handling tips. 1 hour would be great. Yeah,
ah,
Peg, if you want an hour, then you need to become a Dog Show Mentor member. What's stopping you? All
that's
you
a
people are hungry for knowledge, and we've got it. So come on over, be a
yes.
member.
Yeah. Again, this is an intro format here at Ring Ready Live, and it really is introducing you and myself to the Dog Show Mentor program. Also introducing you to Megan, who is the customer relations manager with Showsite and Ring Ready. This is a great opportunity for you to connect with both Lee and Megan so that they can help you with your goals. The backdrop that Megan and who was it? Was it Julie or Debbie who mentioned that it was a very, very popular episode. I think that we probably received some of our highest levels of engagement with that episode, Lee. Um, I thought maybe, do you have a minute, Lee, that we can maybe talk about some of the episodes that were, in fact, the most highly engaged episodes?
Okay,
All right.
go for it, Dan.
All right. I don't know. This one kind of caught me by surprise, but the more I think about it, the more I realize it shouldn't be a surprise. But our top uh, rated episode, if you will, was our fourth episode about ring procedures. So you and I, we've been showing dogs a long time. Lee, you're a multi-group judge. You know how to run a ring as both an exhibitor and as a judge. But a lot of folks are unsure. Certainly when it's our first show dog, we're really unsure about ring procedures. So that episode brought some clarity to a lot of folks when we were just starting our program.
Hmm.
Anything that you want to say about ring procedures all these weeks later?
Oh, yes, I do. So I now have a puppy that I'm showing. Um, and so I am excited to be and a young bitch that I'm showing and sharing. But I think it's exciting to be on the other end of it again. After being out of the ring for a couple of years and then coming back, I love engaging with the judges and seeing what they want and being on the end of seeing what's possible, and how I want to present. So you'll stay tuned, and there'll be some photos of myself with my young dog.
We'll look forward to seeing that. I saw you in Florida, obviously, but I didn't get to see you in the ring with
Ah,
Jay. So I hope that I'll be able to see you two together in the coming year. We've got a few people who are telling us their favorite episodes. Jenna, who's been with us for quite some time, her favorite, you ready, Lee, is the free stack really free? And that was another episode that brought about a lot of engagement and a lot of views. And I'm not surprised that that was one of your favorites. Free stacks, Lee. We talked about that in depth. Um, I'm sure it's a subject that we'll probably address in the coming year once again.
I'm thinking that it's a huge question mark for a lot of people.
Indeed. Kristen says that one of the episodes that spoke to her was being prepared for the ring, especially with a puppy. However, all the episodes have spoken to me on some level. Thank you,
Oh,
Kristen.
how
You know,
nice.
that's really, really nice to hear.
Thank you.
Our second most popular episode, Lee, was the top 3 mistakes exhibitors make. That that one was really insightful. You took charge of that episode and shared with us the mistakes that you're seeing in your ring as a judge all the time. We sometimes don't know that they even are mistakes, but boy, when you pointed them out to us, it was crystal clear that all of us are somehow guilty of making mistakes. Not the least of which is just not being there for your dog first and foremost. Um, Number 3, Lee, I want you to talk about this. Can the owner handlers really beat the pros? Do you remember that
Oh,
important episode?
I can, but I also want to say that my next article in Show Site is about that very thing. Are you really indistinguishable?
Hmm.
Is it possible to be indistinguishable from the pros?
Wow, I can't wait to read that.
Yeah.
I have
I'm
my
sure, Dan, I'm sure.
I have my own response to that, but I want to point out that if you're new to showing dogs, maybe you've got your first or second dog. There are some folks that you see every time you go to a show, and you think they're professional, but what they are someone like you who is showing their dogs professionally. What did you call it? The quality handled dog, Lee. So
Mhm,
sometimes we
mhm.
think, oh, so and so is a pro. Well, no, no, they're just a quality handler handling their dog with quality. And they can teach you an awful lot, and they can teach you not by teaching you. They can teach you if you just sit down and observe. And then if you've got any questions, come back to us, and maybe more importantly, reach out to Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor. She can help you with all those detailed questions if you become a dog show mentor member. Um, I also want to point out, if you look in our comments section, there is a link to all of our episodes. And as we've mentioned before, if you go to YouTube, you can just type in Ring Ready Live, or in your remote control on your television, you can say YouTube, Ring Ready Live. All of the episodes will instantly appear. You will have me and Lee in your living room, and you can relive all of the episodes if there are any that you've missed, or if there are any that you'd like to revisit. Lee, number 4 episode was mentoring. That was a very generalized episode, but you just hit it on the head on the value of a mentor. And what I remember learning there is, if I think of a mentor as a coach, and if I think of confirmation shows as a sport, it just sort of cleared everything up for me. And I thought, well, I wouldn't play in the minor leagues if my team didn't have a coach. I wouldn't take up tennis if I didn't have a coach. I
I
wouldn't even.
know. It's so
Oh,
easy, right? It's such a simple concept. But I want to stop right here and say we have some sort of sad news. Uh, and that is that the
oh,
Westminster Kennel Club dog show is going to be postponed. It's the January event is going to be postponed. And we're very sad about that, but the safety and well-being of the participants remains the top priority, which is what Westminster said. But also, we at Dog Show Mentor, and I'm sure I can speak for Showsite Magazine and Ring Ready, agree. So, getting back to mentoring, yes, mentoring is essential. And this month, Dog Show Mentor is interviewing Richard Paquette. And if you know anything about Richard, you know that he has had wild success over the years. And he's particularly known for Shih Tzu and Lakelands. And we're going to talk about who his mentors were and how he was able to achieve such success, um, how his mentoring people who helped guide him, how important they were to him. So that's one of the topics that we're having at Dog Show Mentor. Is every month we have an interview with a different dog expert. And as I said, I'm very excited that Richard has agreed to come and speak with us on that. So entering.
that's great news and a great opportunity for your members. If you're on the fence again about becoming a Dog Show Mentor member, imagine the opportunity that you'll have every month to sit down with Lee and experts such as Richard Paquette to discuss how he became the mentor that he is in
Right,
dogs.
right, absolutely, absolutely. And I do want to sort of go back to that. Entries don't close for Rose City Classic Cluster until the 5th of January. So if you were not going to go to Rose City because you were going to New York, guess what? You can come to Rose City, and there's a terrier show on the show chair. There's a terrier show on Wednesday that you can enter, and we usually have around between 300 and 350 dogs entered. So we're really excited about that show. I'm thrilled to be the chair of that show because I value the individuals who make up that club and how they volunteer tirelessly every year to make it happen. And everyone works together and values each other and the work that they do. So I'm glad to be working with them. And it's easy for me because I don't own a terrier. So I don't need to show there.
And you know a thing or two about putting on a dog show as the show chair for sure.
Well, and volunteering is really important, and um, it's one of the things that everybody who owns a dog and shows it should do. They should be a club member of a club, and they should volunteer in some capacity. If it is the tiniest capacity, or if it's the president or the show chair, it doesn't matter. Just volunteer and give your time to a club. Now, um, I want to comment here that the next uh, most engaging session that we had was building your playbook.
Hmm.
Right?
Yes. Some folks were asking, well, what is a playbook? And we use the analogies in other sports where um, there are actual strategies and plays that are
Plays.
put in place
Plays.
so that if A happens, then you can respond by doing B and that sort of thing. And I know that we got into more detail there. Um, we also spoke about the Build Your Beautiful backdrop. We know that that was also a popular episode for us, Lee, and one that the idea of a backdrop was confusing to some folks. But I know that after our episode, it should be crystal clear what a backdrop means and how we can become a beautiful backdrop to our dogs. That seemed to be the takeaway.
Right. It's not just what you wear. you
Yeah,
know?
it's not about your shoes, ladies and gentlemen. Um, we've got a few people saying their favorites. Let me go back here, if I may, to Ray, who enjoyed many episodes. He says, including Know Your Standard. Lee, early on, you hit that on
Thank
the
you,
head.
Ray.
That's great. Congratulations. You have graduated. Uh, that's where this sport begins. I mean, everything we do is built on a foundation that's provided to us by the breed standards. Lee, you've referred to that time and again. We had an episode where we talked about that in depth. You and I love talking about the language of our standards. What does this word mean? Where can the hallmarks be found? That was an episode that I especially liked. What are breed hallmarks and where are they found within those standards? So, Ray, again, thank you very much for referencing the breed standards. Um, and Peg says Rose City Classics are awesome. Go, go, go if you can. She'll be there the entire week. Yes, just
Yes.
because the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show has been postponed once again, that does not mean that dog shows are postponed. As we've all learned in the past almost 2 years, we're living in a very fluid time in our culture and in our world, and we've all learned to adjust. And I will say, because we were in attendance at the summer Westminster, none of the magic was lost. And we've all learned to be flexible, haven't we, Lee? If we'd intended to go to New York, we can get to anywhere.
We can pivot and
We
go to the West Coast. Just pivot.
just pivot. Yes, and be supportive. I think that we've also learned. You just mentioned about volunteering for these clubs. These clubs, Westminster included, are comprised of volunteers, and every club has a few core members that do all the work and work around the clock and year round to put on their events. They need your
That's right.
support. They
That's
don't
right.
need your criticism. We're all disappointed by the fact that we've got to pivot and our plans that we've made have to change and plans get canceled and shows get postponed. But
Right.
I know that our members, Lee, are as flexible a bunch as any. And also what I've learned is that the downtime, if you will, that was created early on in the pandemic here in the States created other opportunities, not the least of which was for the dog show mentor to connect with show site
That's
and
right.
create Ring Ready and Ring Ready Live. So
Right.
here, we had to pivot, right? You had to pivot. Showsite had to pivot. We pivoted together, and here we are. So I always think of that when once again plans get dashed, to just realize, okay, there's an opportunity here. I could be taking my puppy and spending more time training her instead of taking her here, there, or wherever. Again, there's plenty of opportunities, and whatever is happening in the world of dog shows and in the world at large, there will always be Ring Ready Live. Lee and I will always be here with you, just keeping you connected and keeping you informed, and keeping you. Uh, I don't want to say entertained, because I do believe that our show is more than entertainment. I think
I
our
hope
show
so.
I think the show, even as somebody who co-hosts it, this show has taught me so much, and I've been doing this a long time, and there's always something new to learn. I
There
mean,
sure is. And I wanted to say here that I think one of my biggest takeaways from COVID is allowing myself to say, I don't know,
mm,
right? It's okay to say, I think I'm going to New York, but I don't know. I think I'm going to Rose City, but I don't know. And it's okay to make plans and then change them. And we've all lost money from shows that didn't go on, but in the end, we've gained so much uh, with our dogs and so much extra time with our dogs during COVID that when somebody put up here something about a COVID dog, and I thought, yeah, a COVID dog is really happy. Right? They're
mhm,
real happy, they're with their families. I mean, Tibetan Terriers are very like, they are families, they wanna have everybody together, they love having myself and my husband, and then when the kids come on, they love to have the kids, and we're all big family, and all the dogs wanna be together, and they're there, it's it's so, it's such a lesson, and so I I think what I'd like to say is my whole takeaway from 2021 as we go into the new year is all that I've learned from COVID and saying, I don't know, but here's what I'm going to do, right? But here's what I'm going to do. So, and we're almost out of time, Dan, but I want to say that one of the things that I did in 2021 was say, okay, I don't know what this is going to bring,
mm.
but what I do know is that in 2022, I'm creating this im- immense, fabulous program called Mastery, and I'm going to invite people to apply. And we're going to work together for a whole year and have different elements that I've wanted to put into Dog Show Mentor, but didn't have the time to or didn't have the bandwidth. Now I've had the bandwidth to create this and create new elements. And all the things that I've learned over the last 5 years from my members and from teaching. And so I didn't know, but what I did was I created something even more fabulous, if that's even possible. So if you're interested in mastery, we're crunching to the end of 2021. Come apply. I'm having a special just for this week to make sure that all the people who should be in the program are getting in. So thanks for everything that you've given me over the last year, all of you. Um, your comments, your ideas are so welcome, and I'm so grateful for all of you.
Yes, and I'm grateful for you, Lee, for bringing this community together, for everyone who is a viewer of Ring Ready Live, a member of Dog Show Mentor. You heard it from Lee just moments ago. Uh, Mastery. If you want to be a master of what you do. If you want to be a master owner handler, there is a coach waiting who may have an opportunity just for you that's really custom designed to the needs of you and your dog. You've also got Megan, who is a master in terms of advertising and celebrating your cherished wins with your dogs. So be sure to reach out to Megan. That's Meegan at showsitemagazine.com. And as always, in Ring Ready and in Showsite Magazine, we celebrate the owner handler. So if you have a story about your journey as an owner handler or as a breeder owner handler, reach out to Megan or myself, Dan at showsitemagazine.com or Megan at showsitemagazine.com. We would love to hear from you. And whatever is happening in the world and in the dog show world, just stay focused, stay on plan, stay on point with your dog. Have fun with your dog, of course, but have fun the way smart people have fun. You know, have fun with the help and the support that you get from Lee Whittier and from Ring Ready Live and the
And
dog.
from Dan Sayers.
Well, thank you, Lee. And I will say that one of the wonderful serendipitous surprises of Ring Ready Live was the fact that you and I just bring our different experience in the sport, and it has meld so well together because I feel that you and I are of like mind, that we indeed want people to do well, to succeed. We want to speak positively about our sport. We want to lift people up. We love hearing about your wins, and as much as you love sharing your wins.
That's right.
Whether you do that here, whether you do that in the magazine, or whether you do that in the Dog Show Mentor program. We are owner handlers, and Lee, we are breeder owner handlers at heart. We love our breeds, we love the sport, and we love the community that is Ring Ready Live and really the sport of dogs. And it's just been a wonderful 38 episodes so far. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This has been a great year-end program. A lot of you have said hello and shared what you feel were some of the best episodes this past year. We're looking forward to hearing from you again. And please don't hesitate. Don't be shy to comment here in this forum, but also to reach out to each of us individually. We'd love to hear from you. And we'd love to meet you and sort of go along with you on your journey as an owner.
I would love it if you would share this Ring Ready Live Facebook with your friends. So when you go back on Facebook to re-listen to this, just hit the share button and share with your friends.
That's a great idea. Thank you for doing that, or mentioning that, Lee. I hope you all take Lee up on that suggestion. It's an easy thing to do. It takes a few seconds. But in doing so, you will help to grow our community. You're going to expose the conversations that we have every week to more and more people. And exponentially, what you enjoy about our conversations each week are going to be enjoyed by more and more people. And in doing so, we are going to find that we are supported by more and more people. And it's nothing but good from here on in, Lee. No matter what happens in the world at large, we've got a community here of owners at Ring Ready Live and at Dog Show Mentor. And, we're just going to stay the course. We are going to strategize. We are going to celebrate our wins. And we're going to gather here once a week to do all of those things. So again, Lee, is there anything that you'd like to share before we go and before we sign off?
I think that I did exactly that. I'm grateful and just know that when we don't know, when we're pivoting, just know that we can create from that place of the unknown.
Well, we're going to end on that note, that bit of positivity. Thank you, Lee Whittier, for those words of wisdom. Thank you for a great year together. Thank all of you who have joined us and who are going to be helping us grow our community in the coming year. Um, we wish you all the happiest of holidays still. A happy new year to you. Happy whatever you're celebrating. Happy dog showing, of course. And, just remember that dog shows are fun and keep having fun with your dogs.
See
Bye.
you in the winner's circle.
Oh, happy holidays, Lee.
I
Lee,
lo- I loved this. I loved this. I loved hearing